Today, let us discuss the modular exponentiation by repeated squaring method. A basic computation problem we often encounter in modular arithmetic is finding the nth power of a given number b modulo m, that is, finding the least non-negative residue of p raised to n when both m and n are very large. The direct method is to find b raised to n using repeated multiplication, where at first we calculate b square and then we multiply b square by b to obtain b cube, then we multiply b cube by b and so on until we obtain b raised to n. But this is a very tedious process. There is a quicker process which is better than the repeated multiplication of b by itself. We are going to describe an algorithm for doing that. Our assumption will be b is less than m here. Even if b is greater than or equal to our modulus m, we can reduce it modulo m to obtain a number which is less than m. So it is safe to assume that b is less than m. And we assume that whenever we perform a multiplication, we immediately reduce the product modulo m. That is, we replace the product by its least non-negative residue. In that way, we can make sure that any integer will be less than m square, since the numbers involved in multiplication at any stage will be less than m. So the product will always be less than m square. Now let us move on to the algorithm. For the iterations, we assume that a denotes the partial product, and when we have completed all the steps in our algorithm, we will have a equal to the least non-negative residue of b raised to n modulo m. For the first step, we assume that a is equal to 1. Let n0, n1, n2, etc. nk minus 1 denote the binary digits of n. That is, the binary representation of n will be this, and so that n is equal to n0 plus 2 raised to 1 into n1 plus 2 square into n2 plus etc. 2 raised to k minus 1 into nk minus 1. Since this is binary representation, each digit nj will be either 0 or 1. We consider the digit in 1's place, n0, and check whether it is equal to 1. If n0 is equal to 1, then we replace a by b. Otherwise, that is, if n0 is not equal to 1, or if n0 is equal to 0, then we keep a unchanged and we square b, and we set b1 congruent to b square modulo m. Here we can observe that in both cases, a will be congruent to b raised to n0 modulo m. And in the next step, we consider n1, the next digit, and check whether n1 is equal to 1, and if it is so, we replace a by a into b1, where b1 is b square or b raised to 2 raised to 1 modulo m. And if n1 is equal to 0, we keep a unchanged and we square b1 and we set b2 congruent to b1 square modulo m. Here also we can observe that in both cases, a is congruent to b raised to n0 into b square whole raised to n1 modulo m. This quantity is in fact b1 when n1 is equal to 1. Since b square whole raised to n1 is b square, which is congruent to b1 when n1 is equal to 1, and if n1 is equal to 0, this quantity will be equal to 1. So in both cases, the new a is congruent to old a into b square whole raised to n1 modulo m. For the next step, we will be considering the next digit n2. If n2 is equal to 1, then we replace a by a into b2, where we have already calculated b2 as b1 square modulo m. b1 square can also be represented as a quantity congruent to b raised to 2 square. And otherwise, that is if n2 is equal to 0, we keep a unchanged. And for the next step, we do this preparation. We square b1 and set b3 congruent to b2 square modulo m. Here we can see that a is congruent to old a into b raised to 2 square whole raised to n2 modulo m. Continuing this way, in jth step, we will be checking the digit nj, and if nj is equal to 1, we replace a by a into bj, where bj is congruent to b raised to 2 raised to j modulo m, and otherwise we keep a unchanged. And we calculate bj plus 1, which is congruent to bj square modulo m. And in this case, we can see that a is congruent to b raised to n0 into b square raised to n1 into b raised to 2 square raised to n2 into etc. b raised to 2 raised to j whole raised to nj modulo m. That is old a. The a we calculated in the previous step into this quantity b raised to 2 raised to j whole raised to nj. This will be satisfied even if nj is equal to 1 or 0. Now in k minus first step, we check whether nk minus 1, that is the leftmost digit of n, is equal to 1. Since n is assumed to be a k-bit integer, nk minus 1 will be equal to 1. That will be the only possibility. So we replace a by a into bk minus 1, where bk minus 1 is congruent to b raised to 2 raised to k minus 1 modulo m. Thus, a will be congruent to b raised to n0 into b square raised to n1 into b raised to 2 square whole raised to n2 into etc. b raised to 2 raised to k minus 1 whole raised to nk minus 1 modulo m after this step. So we can see that a is congruent to b raised to n0 plus 2n1 plus 2 square n2 plus etc. plus 2 raised to k minus 1 into nk minus 1 modulo m. We know that this exponent here is in fact n itself. So we have a is congruent to b raised to n modulo m as required. Thus we have obtained the least residue of b raised to n modulo m using this method.